International Silver Company presents The Silver Theater. Starring Chester Morris and Glenda Farrell in The Man from Medicine Bow, directed by Conrad Nagel. Brought to you on behalf of two of the greatest names in silverware. International Sterling, world-famous solid silver, and 1847 Rogers Brothers, America's finest silver plate.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Conrad Nagel greeting you from the stage of the Silver Theater in Hollywood and bringing you the 28th in our new series of dramatic productions. Before the curtain rises on today's performance, we'd like to announce that for the next 2 weeks, Silver Theater will star Robert Montgomery. And among the other brilliant personalities whose names grace our guest book for future dates are Joan Crawford, Douglas Fairbanks, Jr., and Helen Hayes. The house lights dim, and the silver curtain is about to rise on the first act of The Man from Medicine Bow, a comedy by Paul Franklin, starring Chester Morris and Glenda Farrell as Dave Sheridan and Connie Bannister. The scene, the Lazy Bee Ranch, one of the finest outfits in Wyoming. Dave Sheridan, young owner of Lazy Bee, is just riding up to the ranch house.
Hello, Judge Ellsworth. Be right with you.
All right, Dave.
Where do you want us to put these yearlings, Dave?
Back in the North Corral, Tegs. Whoa there, boy.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Judge. Why, not at all, David. I suppose you know why I'm here?
Well, sure, I got an idea.
Yes. David, according to the terms of your father's will, of which my bank is the trustee, we are authorized to turn over to you today the proceeds of the entire estate. And whereas...
Never mind the whereases. Where's the check?
The check? Why, you mean you're not going to let us reinvest the funds?
Well, maybe after I get back, Judge. You see, I'm finally taking that trip to New York.
New York? Yes, but Dave,
don't you give me that, Judge. It was bad enough that Dad hated New York and fixed that will just to keep me from going there. But today, the provisions of that will have been carried out, so I'm on my own.
Well, why should you go east? After all, the West's a mighty fine country, Dave.
Oh, the West, yeah. Where men are men. Nothing ever happens anymore. Back there, it's different. Look, Judge, do you realize what goes on in New York? The kind of people that live there, the things they do? Well, I'll bet you don't even listen to Walter Winchell.
Huh? Why, well, I
do. And what's more, I've read every story, every column written about Broadway for the last 10 years. Maybe I've never been out of Wyoming, but I know New York almost as well as Slapsy O'Connor himself.
Slapsy O'Connor?
Sure, the head of the poultry racket. You mean you've never heard of him, Judge? Oh, don't you see, there's no use talking when it comes to Manhattan. We speak a different language.
Well, perhaps we do, but the fact remains that you will have a good deal of money and you don't know anyone back there.
Oh, don't worry about that either, Judge. There is one person in New York that even Dad admitted was a square shooter. Roomed with him at college. A banker named Bannister. And I always promised that if I did go east, I'd look him up.
Well, I wish you reconsidered, David, but I suppose you won't.
Oh, not a chance. I wired Mr. Bannister this morning, and as soon as he gives me the come on, I'm coming on.
Yes, sir?
Miss Bannister's expecting us. Miss Dillon and Mr. Van Ostrand.
Oh, yes, Mr. Van Ostrand. Miss Bannister is in the library.
Thank you.
Say, Teddy, we've just got to talk Connie into going with us this weekend.
Leave it to me.
Oh, Connie. Hello, Kay and Teddy. Oh, you're just in time. This is wonderful.
What's happened?
Me. I've just inherited the Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver.
You what? Say, Teddy, does she look all right to you?
Never can tell about the Bannister family, I always say.
All right, you can clown, but look at this. This telegram that just came for Dad.
Yeah?
Naturally, I couldn't get it to him. He's on the Normandy. So I opened it and listened. Dear Mr. Bannister, always promised Dad would look you up if I came New York. Stop. Anxious leave Medicine Bow at once and fly east. Stop. Would it be convenient for you show me some of the towns? Stop. Particularly anxious to meet any gangsters you may know. Stop. Please wire reply. Gratefully yours, David Sheridan.
Oh, Connie, I don't believe it. It's a gag.
It's not a gag. The man actually believes we hobnob with racketeers and mobsters.
Well, who says we don't? Teddy, Can't you help Connie out? Haven't you got a thug friend or two left over from Prohibition days?
What do you mean, friend? What's the matter? Who is this guy Sheridan? And if he's coming here to try to muscle in on our territory, I'll rub him out. That's what I'll do. I'll rub him out.
Jeepers, how you gonna do it, killer, honey?
Oh, this may be funny to you, but look, I've got to... Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What, Connie?
Look, do you suppose... Now, this Dave Sheridan has never seen any of these gangsters, has he? So what's to stop you from providing them for him?
Us?
Yes, you. Kidding it, just like you were doing now.
Oh, Connie, the guy'll never fall for that.
The fellow who wrote that telegram will fall for anything.
And besides, if he's any kind of a person at all, he'll only laugh himself when he gets wise. Oh, let's try it. First, I'll wire him to come on. And then we'll have to get in touch with Babs and Clark Palmer. After all, just you two won't be enough. Then a night or two after he arrives, I'll make reservations at one of the clubs. You, Teddy, can be Slapsy O'Connor, and Clark can be Bugs Halstead. And you two girls will be their moms. Then somehow Dave Sheridan and I will just happen to bump into you. Then we'll give him a taste. You know, I still can't believe it. You know that, don't you, Mr. David Sheridan?
Oh, you mean I should have worn chaps and carried 6-shooters?
Well, hardly that. But I was all prepared the other day for boots and a 10-gallon hat. And then you stepped off that plane dressed just like a page out of Esquire.
Yeah, and what then, Connie?
Well, I was surprised.
Disappointed?
No, surprised.
Oh, gee, Connie, it's really been swell of you to bother with me like this. Meeting me, showing me the town, having me to dinner.
Oh, by the way, more coffee?
Oh, no, thanks. Say, Connie.
Yes?
I've been meaning to mention this. I'll bet you think I'm an awful hick. I mean that wire I sent about all the things I wanted to see. Gangsters and what have you.
Well, I must admit, until I saw you, I did have a different picture.
Well, I'd like to have you understand how I feel about that, Connie. You see, I came from a part of the country where, the so-called bad men used to operate. Why, my granddad led the posse that chased Bat Masterson out of the territory.
Really?
And now, all the men like Masterson and Billy the Kid and Wyatt Earp, they're kind of men. They're not out west anymore. They're back here, in New York, in Chicago. Maybe it's crazy, but I'd like to see some of them face to face, just to see if they're anything like my idea of them.
You're still determined to meet gangsters, Dave?
Yeah, if it's all the same to you, but... maybe you don't know any.
Oh, I know some, all right. Ever hear of Slapsy O'Connor and Bugs Halstead?
O'Connor and Halstead, have I? You know them?
Yes, Dave. We'll probably see them tonight. You see, I made reservations at the Club Alamo.
Club Alamo, huh?
Yes, that's where O'Connor and Halstead hang out.
At the Alamo? Oh, Connie, the Alamo belongs to Mushmouth Davis. Everybody knows that.
You don't tell me.
Why, sure. Halstead and O'Connor own the 43 Club.
Well, of course, I wouldn't know. I've only lived in New York all my life.
Well, you don't have to take my word for it. Here, look at these. You believe Winchell, don't you?
Clippings. Why, your wallet's stuffed with them.
Sure, I've been saving every word written about Broadway for the past 10 years. Of course, if you want to go to the Alamo...
Oh, no. You want to see the town, right? We'll go to the 43.
Connie.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is it my dancing?
The dancing? Oh, if you're a sample of Medicine Goes Dancing, then a lot of the men I know should go to Wyoming.
Well, then, if it isn't that, it's something else. You know, you've been quiet ever since we got here.
Well, it's just that... Well, look, Dave. Don't you think we ought to skip this gangster business?
But why?
Dave, do you realize that type of...
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Let's dance.
Sure.
Dave.
Yeah? What is it?
Dave, over there. At that table in the corner. That's them.
Who?
Bugs Halstead and Slapsy O'Connor. They're sitting there with their two moths.
No! Connie, are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Shall we go over there so I can introduce you?
Oh, come on. Oh, what a break. Say, do you really know him?
No. I went to school with them.
Oh, great.
Well, here we are. Hello, Mr. O'Connor and Mr. Halstead. How are you?
Dame, how's tricks, girlie?
Oh, fine. This is my friend, Mr. Sheridan from Wyoming.
Oh, an honest-to-goodness cowboy. Hiya, Buck. Did he bring his horse and guitar?
All right, quiet, you dames. Miss Bannister and Mr. Sheridan, Miss LaRue, and Miss LaJoy.
Just call me Margie, big boy.
And my pal, Bugs Halstead.
Yeah,
Won't you drag up a chair and join us?
Well, sure. That is, if Miss Bannister...
Why not? Oh, gee. I wish that music would stop.
Don't you like music, Miss LaRue?
Huh. Every time this mob of bugs pulls a job, I gotta sit in the car with the radio on. Boy, do I hate music.
Say, talking about jobs. We put away a neat one yesterday. 3 guys get their throat slit, and the cops ain't got any idea who pulled it.
Yeah, 3 men had the... You mean you...
No, not us. We just run the mob. A couple of Brooklyn boys who take care of the finger work.
Oh.
What's the matter? Don't you like knife jobs, buddy?
Who, me? Oh, sure. Nothing like a shiv, is there?
A what?
A shiv, a knife. Isn't that what you call them?
Oh, yeah, sure. Shiv, sure. Say, you seem to know what the score is around here, don't you?
Well, I try to keep up on things.
Out west, they seem to keep ahead of things.
Sure. Talking about shivs, you ever handle one?
Well, no, not really, but I've done a little work with a rod. That's a gun.
Yeah? Say, that gives me an idea. Hey, look, buddy. We're figuring on pulling a big stick-up, see? Over 200 G's in it, cash. Everything's set, except we ain't got a dynamite.
Oh, you mean a soup man? Yeah, someone to blow it up.
Nah, I mean a guy what's handy with a gun.
Oh, I thought you called them torpedoes.
That was last year. Now we calls them dynamiters.
I'll try to remember that.
Yes, by all means, Dave. It'd be a shame to go back home with last year's vocabulary.
Look, honey, do you mind clamming up?
Oh,
We're talking business.
I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Okay. Now, here's the offers on the job. These New York bulls don't owe you. You handle a Tommy gun, and we cut you in for a third. How about it?
Well, I don't know. I hadn't quite
You
counted
don't
it.
have to dump many guys, just 2, 3 watchmen.
Just 2 or 3. Now, look here. I don't mean I don't like you fellas, but, well, you see, I'm not very good with a Tommy gun.
Yeah? Well, you know too much now for us to deal you out. You feel that?
Yeah. What is it?
At the 45 I got my pocket. Now, how about it?
Well, look here.
Now, wait a minute, boys. Boys, he's right. You can't expect him to make up his mind without thinking it over. You've got to give him time.
Yeah, so he can run to the cops and squeal?
Oh, now, Bugs, Slapsy, please, give him a chance. Don't force him into it.
Nothing doing.
Well, give him till tomorrow. Now, look, you can all come to my apartment for cocktails. Say about 3 o'clock. He'll be there. I promise you he'll be there, and he'll give you his answer then.
Well, okay. But, sister, if this hillbilly crosses us, it's lights out. Remember that, Wyoming? Lights out.
Yeah. I'll try to remember that.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the curtain rises on Act 2 of tonight's Silver Theater performance, I'd like to say just a few words about important occasions. Because so often it takes an important occasion to make people realize how inadequate their silverware is. Let's say you're giving a wedding breakfast for your daughter, or a very special dinner party for your husband's client. Naturally, you want everything to go off particularly well. But if your silverware is a miscellaneous collection of 2 or 3 different kinds, then you're not going to be as happy about that important occasion as you should be. So why not do this now? Accept the invitation of John Conte.
Ladies and gentlemen, why not visit your silverware dealer tomorrow, Monday, and see the beautiful 62-piece service of gleaming silver plate, which 1847 Rogers Brothers now offers you at a saving of more than $14 over open stock price. It's created in the pierced pattern Lovelace, a pattern of wedding ring orange blossom inspiration whose sterling-like detail gives it a rich and unusual beauty. And on every graceful piece is that proud year mark, 1847, to assure you that here is silver plate made by America's foremost designers. A house of more than 92 years' supremacy in silver plate design and craftsmanship. See this lovely service tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and find out on what surprisingly easy terms you can own the aristocrat of silver plate. 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate.
Again, the lights are being dimmed and the silver curtain rises on the concluding act of The Man from Medicine Bow, starring Glenda Farrell and Chester Morris. It's late the following morning. It's been a fitful, restless night for Dave Sheridan, tossing and turning, still unaware that his meeting with Slapsy O'Connor and Bugs Halstead at the Club 43 has been only a hoax. He is still sleeping when a few blocks away.
Come on, let's get out of here. All right, step on it.
Read all about it. Big bank robbery. Eastern National Bank robbed at $200,000. Read all about it.
Hello. Are you sure Miss Bannister's not there? Well, has she heard about the robbery? Halstead and O'Connor. Yeah, they did it. They got her father's bank. Huh? Oh, never mind. Listen. They're supposed to come to her apartment at 3 o'clock. If they show up, don't let them in. Meanwhile, I'll try to head them off at their nightclub. Yeah, thanks. Hey, what do you want? O'Connor and Halstead. Where are they? What's that to you? Never mind. Just tell them it's Dave Sheridan from Medicine Bow. Medicine Bow? And I want to see him about that Eastern National Bank robbery. What? You see, I know who pulled that job. You do, eh? Okay. Just stay where you are.
We got to do something about it. What do you want? Don't you know we're busy?
Slapsy, Bugs. There's a guy out here says he knows who's pulled that job this morning.
What's that? He does, huh? Some stoolie looking for a cut. Ditch that bag.
Check.
Okay, let him in. Get out in the street and keep your eyes and ears open. Maybe he didn't come alone.
Right. Hey, you. Yeah? Go on in. Sure. Thanks. Now, look here, you men. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, what?
Well, there's some mistake. I want to see O'Connor and Halstead.
I'm O'Connor and he's Halstead. What about it?
Oh, now, don't kid me. Look, I know Halstead and O'Connor. Miss Bannister and I had dinner with them and their their friends here last night.
Yeah? Yeah, you was here last night. I remember now. I seen you with that Park Avenue bunch.
Park Avenue bunch? What? Wait a minute. Oh, that Park Avenue bunch, huh? I get it now. Yeah. I'm sorry, my mistake. You see, I'm a stranger in town, and I'm just learning my way around. So I'll be running along.
I wouldn't hurry.
Well, I've got an appointment at 3 o'clock.
Maybe it can wait. That bank job today, you know something about it?
The bank job? Oh, no. I was just talking. Didn't mean a thing. So long.
There we are.
Now, wait a minute, boys.
I don't know who you are, but you played a bum card this time. Bugs, frisk him.
Right.
I don't think you'd better try that.
No. Well, turn around.
Huh? Sure. Like this.
Hey, Bugs, look out. He's going to throw you over his head. Come on. Get clear of him so I can shoot. Bugs, here, you fool. Break away from him. O'Connor, the gun.
All right, back against the wall, both of you. Move.
Now, look here, fella.
Now, I want you to do as I say and move fast. Where's that money?
We haven't got...
No. If that money wasn't here, you wouldn't be. Better make up your mind, O'Connor.
Hey, he means it, Slapsy. It's in there, bud.
Here? Thanks.
Look, you don't think you're going to get away with this. Get smart, make a split, and we'll call it square.
Sorry, I've got other plans, O'Connor, and I'll need this money. I hope you won't mind waiting in here till I get underway. So long, and thanks for saving me a lot of trouble.
Well, how do you like... Hey, open up. Hey, you!
Shut up.
Huh?
Come on.
But why tip him off now, Connie?
Why, sure. The way he fell for the gag last night, we could carry it on forever.
Yes, Connie, what's happened to you? Don't tell me you've gone soft for Mr. Wide Open Spaces.
Well, suppose we went to Wyoming. We'd be pretty green ourselves, and we wouldn't expect the people that we... Well, that is, we wouldn't expect our friends to try to make fools of us.
Here, Connie, defender of the downtrodden.
Downtrodden, Dave Sheridan? Huh. Say, I'd hate to have him really sore at me, but... You know, maybe Connie's right. Suppose we just use the gag again when he first gets here and then let him in on it. I want to see his face when Connie tells him.
Oh, and that reminds me. There's not going to be any... Oh. Dave. Well, hello.
Hi, Connie. Hope I'm not late. Hello, Slapsy and Bugs. Hiya, Miss LaJoy.
How are you today, handsome?
I'm all right.
Glad you showed, Wyoming. Thought you might have gotten cold feet.
Now, that's very funny coming from you.
Dave. What's wrong with you?
Wrong? Why, nothing. They just give me a laugh, that's all.
Who?
Your friends. The smartest racketeers in New York.
And who says we ain't, buddy? Who says we ain't?
You gonna rub him out, Slapsy?
Oh, stop it, you two. Dave, what are you talking about?
This. Read it.
Huge loss in bank holdup.
That's right. A $200,000 job. Mighty nice of Slapsy and Bugs here to tip me off on
We
it.
tipped you... we tipped you off?
Sure. So I pulled it without you.
Dave. Dave, you didn't rob that bank yourself.
No?
But you couldn't. That's crazy. You're not a crook.
I'm not, huh? Open that bag.
Why,
Do as you're told.
Look, it's money.
There's thousands there.
Yeah, exactly 200,000. That's what the paper said. I haven't bothered to count it yet. Thought I'd wait till now. You see, since you boys gave me the steer, well, I want to cut you in.
Cut us in?
Oh, wait a minute, Sheridan.
You boys going sort of soft all of a sudden, aren't you?
Oh, Dave, listen to me. You didn't really do this thing. You couldn't. Why, that bank belongs to my father.
Talk to your friends. It was their idea.
Oh, Dave, what's the matter with you? You can't be such a fool. This whole thing was just a gag. Now, you can't take it seriously.
No, why can't I?
Because you'll get caught, Dave. You'll be in a terrible jam.
Suppose I am. What's that to you?
It's a lot to her, if you want to know.
Kay.
After you left us last night, she said she wondered where Wyoming had been all her life.
Did you say that, Connie?
And suppose I did.
Come here.
Well? Oh, Dave, please. I'm sorry. Really, I am. I didn't really mean to... Dave.
Come on, girls. The line forms at the right.
Well, that settles that. Connie, you're coming with me.
And what?
You're coming with me. Gangstering's a waste of time unless you got a moll to hang the diamonds on. And you'll do. Now get the money and let's go.
Why, you big overgrown moron. If you think I'd go away with you and with my own father's money...
Well, I could steal somebody else's money.
Oh, will you get out of here?
Okay, sorry. Toss me that bag.
Huh? Oh, here.
Too bad, too, Connie. You know, we'd have looked swell together in the tabloids. Well, a guy can't have everything. So long.
Well, can you be having nightmares and still have your eyes open?
Honey, what's happened to that guy?
Oh, is that all you're going to do? Ask questions? We've got to stop him. We started this. Well, we're going to finish it, too.
Connie, who are you calling?
The police. I'm going to...
All right, put down that phone and quick.
Who are you? How dare you break in here?
Maybe she wants us to come in the front way and send up our names.
Shut up. All right, lady, where is he? Just tell us quick and there'll be no trouble.
Where is who?
Connie, these men must be detectives looking for Sheridan.
Detectives? Hey, did you get that, Slapsy?
Slapsy? He's Slapsy O'Connor.
Slapsy O'Connor. Oh, this is wonderful. Don't you get it now, all of you?
Don't we get what?
Now, look here, miss.
Oh, this whole thing, it's a joke. Why, he's simply trying to pull our gag. Pull the same gag
Why,
on
sure,
us.
Connie, you're right.
Oh, and as for these men... Oh, that's wonderful. And to think we fell for it. All right now, Mr. Whatever your name is, relax. You both did a grand job.
Lady, I'm warning you.
Oh, don't be stubborn. He hit her.
Connie, look out. He is Slapsy O'Connor. I've seen his picture.
Your friend's right, miss, and there's none of us doing any more laughing. Now, where's that cowboy? Come on, we saw him come in here. I said, where is the guy?
He's right here, O'Connor.
Dave.
Now, drop those guns and put them up, both of you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dave, look out! Oh, Dave, that was a honey. Are you all right?
Sure.
Hey, what goes on here? All right. Where is that guy? Come on in, boys. Hey, who's this fellow Sheridan who's out for the police?
I am, officer. You'll find that Eastern National Bank money over there in that bag.
The money from... Hey, is this on the level?
Well, it should be. That's Slapsy O'Connor, and the other one is Bugs Halstead.
Well, I'll be an Irish cop. What about the rest of these people?
Why,
I can't tell you much about the men, officer. But I'll be glad to swear in court that this girl told me she was Slapsy O'Connor's ma.
Dave, don't tell him that. He'll believe.
And this one boasts she runs around with Bugs Halsted.
Why, officer, that's a lie. My father's
As
the owner.
for the other...
Dave, you win. Now we admit it. Please, officer, I'm Connie Bannister, and these people are all my friends. You've got the men you want.
Yeah? Well, I'll take your word for it. For now. Come along, you two. Come on out of here.
Oh, Mr. Sheridan, you were marvelous.
Yes, old man, I'll have to admit that...
Maybe we'd better be going.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody.
Of course, we might have tried to say goodbye.
Who would have cared if we did?
Well, why don't you say something?
Why don't you?
Well, Dave,
I want you to know that...
What
I really mean
to
it.
Say...
My turn?
Your turn.
Well, look, you said you wondered where Wyoming had been all your life. You did say that, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
So how about it?
You mean you and me?
You and me.
Well, you
I
see,
know it's
Dave,
pretty quick.
My turn?
Your turn.
Yes, Dave. I've got an idea. I'm going to know where Wyoming is for the rest of my life.
In just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, our stars, Glenda Farrell and Chester Morris, will come back to give you their personal Easter greeting. But before they do, would you permit me to make a friendly suggestion to all you spring brides-to-be? Many of you have already chosen your new home, and in the weeks to come, you'll be busy selecting the furnishings for that home. And since then, too, is the time you'll select your silver, may I suggest sterling silver? Believe me, you'll find it the most richly satisfying investment you've ever made. For sterling silver is genuine, solid silver that will remain a treasured possession as long as you live. What will please you even more, there's several practical ways whereby you can purchase sterling silver, international sterling silver, on even a limited budget. For example,
International Sterling's layaway plan, ladies and gentlemen, makes it possible for you to buy a complete service of solid silver and make payments when and as convenient. Or you can buy single place settings, one or two at a time, as low as $16.75 apiece. And every international sterling pattern is breathtakingly lovely. Particularly irresistible to 1939 brides is the new Prelude pattern, a solid silver design whose purity of line and captivating rose motif possess ageless charm. A pattern whose craftsmanship is so exquisite it will go proudly with backgrounds of any period. Be sure to visit your silverware dealer tomorrow, Monday, and ask about Prelude Sterling. Before you own it, you'll say, I never knew sterling silver cost so little. After you own it, you'll say, I never dreamed sterling silver could be such a thrill to own. And now back to Conrad Nagel.
Thank you, John. As is customary at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we draw aside our silver curtain and ask our stars, Glenda Farrell and Chester Morris, to meet you in person. Thank you, Glenda and Chester, for a pair of swell performances.
Oh, the
Thank
pleasure's
you,
all mine,
Conrad.
Conrad. You see,
My turn?
Your turn.
Take a card, any card.
Mysterious Morris.
This is where I came in at rehearsal 3 days ago.
No, Glenda, come on now. Take a
Chester,
card.
we'd love to see a card trick, but really we haven't time today.
All right.
Look, Chester, what do you consider your best quick trick?
My best quick trick? Well, frankly, I like this one.
Well, he's disappeared.
Yes, I know. At lunch the other day, he did the same thing when the waiter brought the check.
Well, I suppose we'd better try to carry on.
Well, I'm afraid I can't, you see. He took my script with him.
Well, you can ad-lib something, can't you?
I never was a great hand in an emergency, but how about this? It's been grand working with you, and I think the new solid silver pattern Prelude is lovely beyond words. I made it a point to see it the very first time I heard John Conte describe it.
Well, thank you very much, Glenda. Good night and come back soon.
By the way, folks, I left in such a hurry I didn't get a chance to thank you for inviting me to appear on Silver Theater.
Say, Conrad, the voice of Mysterious Morris. Hey, Chester, where are you?
I'm over at the RKO lot where I'm working in a new aviation picture called Five Came Back.
Well, thank you, Chester Morris. We're still at Silver Theater, where we're already beginning work on next week's drama, which will star your friend Robert Montgomery. Be sure to listen in next Sunday at this same time. The Man from Edisonville was written for Silver Theater by Paul Franklin and was adapted by True Boardman. Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by Felix Mills. All names and designations of persons and of business or social organizations used in the course of this broadcast are entirely fictitious, and no actual business or social organization and no living person is thereby actually referred to or designated. John Conte speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.